Hello students. So we were discussing about the color of the compounds. Now the next thing is the color. If it is whitish in color, whether it is greenish in color, yellowish in color, it could be a hydrocarbons, it could be an aromatic compound. If it's yellow in color, it can be an orthonitrophenol compounds, or you can say benzoquinone compounds, or like that. So it's like that. If they are, you can say if they are in yellow in color, they can be an orthonitrophenoldehyde or metanitrophenoldehyde. It's like that. If they are colorless, they could be phenols, they could be aromatic amines, they could be, you can say, phenolic compounds. Well, now if you'll come to the odor, if they are colorless but becomes colored on exposure means that if they are exposed to air, then they could be phenols, they could be aromatic amines, or fine. If they are having a pleasant smell, then they could be, that means pleasant means that it is not irritating, it is not causing you any sort of you can say irritation in your nose or eyes, then it could be an esters or your alcohols or aromatic amines, like that. Fine. If they are having a fishy smell, then they could be, of course, amines. Well, some compounds, they give us, you can say, a bitter almond smell and odor. A bitter almonds, you can say kadwe badam, bitter almonds. So what type of a compounds they could be? Nitrobenzene or benzaldehyde. So you are now, as you are going the preliminary examination, this is the preliminary examination, that is the very initial examination you can do when you are performing, when you are identifying an organic compound, because you are in the identification stage. So following through these steps, you are moving towards some assumptions, some results, and you will put together all these results in the end, and you will finally come to know that what type of a compound you've been provided with, right? Because in the very initial stage, you don't know. If it's an unknown compound, let's talk about unknown ones. If I provide you an unknown compound, how you are going to identify? Definitely through these procedures, through these steps, if you'll follow these steps, you'll come to know what type of a compound it is, what color it has, what odor it has, what type of smell it contains, and you'll jump up to some conclusions that these could be the compounds, and these could be the they are giving us such type of indications. So it could be like that. So now third thing is your litmus test. Now litmus test basically tells you about the acidic or basic type of a compound, that whether it's acidic or basic, and it's a very basic level thing. Now you will take a small amount of the compound, and you will dissolve it in some amount of a solvent. The procedure is all with you, and most of you have done. If the blue litmus paper, you have two litmus paper, a blue and a red. They have the ranges, the acidic range and the basic range. If the blue litmus paper turns to red, it's acidic in nature. If the red litmus paper turns to blue, it's basic in its nature, and that could be an amine or anything. And if nothing happens, no action on both, then what you are going to, it's a neutral compound. It could be alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, ether, or carbohydrates. Okay, then you will come to the ignition test. Now what is an ignition test? Ignite, that means jalana, to burn something, ignite. That means on this metallic spatula, you will take a metallic spatula, and when a metallic spatula is used for this, particularly used for picking up the compound from your container in which you have kept your watch glass. Of course, your watch glass that contains your unknown compound. It is picking for, or it is used for this particular test also. And now you will grab a few granules of your organic compound on the tip of this ignition tube, and you will burn it directly on the flame. And if you'll see, if it has a sooty flame or a non-sooty flame. If it has a sooty flame, it could be an aromatic compound or a highly unsaturated aliphatic compound, right? But if it burns with yellow or a non-sooty flame, it could be an aliphatic compound. And if more or less it is colorless or blue, maybe it contains some oxygens, or if it has an unpleasant odor, like sulfur dioxide or something, it could indicate the presence of sulfur containing compounds. So this test tells us this thing. Now you'll not going to mix it with any solvent. Directly you are going to ignite it on the flame. This is called an ignition test. Hope you are getting me. Now I will discuss the next test on the next video. Thank you.